So the way you decipher the cipher is you remove it, take it what?
Take it out of there.
And you can either go A, E, I, or what? U. But you never use what? Y. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so you can say who, watch, when you know there's a secret at the end of that. So you can take the W out, and you get watch, ho. So you can take the O out and you can say hive, you can say he, you can say what? Watch, ha, no, it's ha, he, hive, or who. You see?
Yeah.
But you don't say hi, H what?
Why?
You see, because the I is a sound in the English alphabet that the Y was never supposed to be able to use. You understand what I'm trying to say? Just like the C produced the letter K, where the K wasn't necessary to be what? Used. Which lets you know that the writing of their alphabet, knowing that in the English language, it is the only language on the planet that has higher case letters and lower case letters. So you have capitals and lowercase letters. Because you're talking about capital of the United what? States, and you're talking about money. Because corporations must use all capital letters to deal with corporations. That's where they created the straw man what? You. And in order to invoke, to become a secured party, you must invoke imperial what? That means you must have a M what? Pire. That's why the OSO what? OSOICE. Original Sacred Order Inner Circle what? Empire. To invoke imperial what? Law. Which will come all around when we come full circle and when we start becoming secured what? Party. Then we can honestly say we have a what? Empire, because we've been showing them the OSOICE is also nice with everything we do and everything we say. We can come back to the day that that first was made what? Mentioned. And keep in mind, it is the inner circle empire of the Most High. And this day, when my trigger was being pulled, I was going to Jeffrey's inner what? Circle. See? So when I'm left what? One club called Mingles, going from Embarcadero in Jack London Square. Hear it? Jack London what? Square. Was it a circle?
No, it was a square.
What now? I was moving from what? Embarcadero to 14th and Broadway in Jack London's what?
Square.
And then I got a heat flash and a cold flash. And it felt like I was about to pass what? Because that's what's going to happen to you all on the day the earth stands what?
Still.
The same what?
Same, yeah.
The trigger will be what? Pulled. The genetic explosion will happen. And it's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because when you remove this, you remove resistance.
Yeah.
See? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when it gets to the cross right there, that cross, no matter what, is still going to be a polarity what? Resistance. Whether it's opposites attracting or positives attracting or opposite or not, it's going to be a pushing and a what?
Pull.
Where if it's like this, that removes the push and the what?
The pull. It does.
You understand what I'm trying to say? And then you will only have ascending and what?
Descending.
You see, and expansion. And that's where they see, motherfuckers, because of the resistance of pushing and pulling, they say it will collapse. Yeah. It won't collapse because we'll remove that before we what? Get there. See, that's the part that they don't understand. They're depending on resistance. Like if you look at the Borg in Star Trek, they show up in the square.
And say resistance is
futile.
Yeah.
You see? Because they know that resistance is futile because resistance will never be what? Fertile. You see, and what is the war about? Fertility. So resistance is only futile because it will never be what? Fertile. If your fallopian tubes are what? Twisted, how's the egg going to come what?
Down.
You see?
Yeah.
So we got to keep the cold twist what? Out of it. You see? And give them back their what? Bullshit where opposites what?
That's right.
No, the like-minded will what?
That's right. The
See,
like-minded.
positive will attract what?
Positive.
And negative will attract what?
Negative.
So all you negative motherfuckers will be over what?
Over there.
And out of the righteous is what? Way. You see? Because that's where the cold twist will be what?
Untwisted.
See? And that's where, like you say, they have double what? Dutch.
Oh yeah, double Dutch.
Double Dutch, right? Bap, 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 bap. And the sister's doing like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now look, what? Pushing and what? Pushing and pulling. And then she goes, right? Now watch. And it's called double what?
Double Dutch.
They're feeding you dualities that are not what? Realities. Because we don't live in a dual dimensional what? World. You see what I'm saying? Is the wait till you get. So what I'm saying to you is, a dual dimensional world is only due to dualities, because they will say 2, 4, 6, 8 is even, even if that's not what? True. Because you have 3, 6, 9, 12. In an odd run of numbers, how do you have any even numbers? How is it that 2 odds can produce an even, but 2 evens can't produce an odd? That's not even at all. That represents what's taking place in your courts right here today. See, because they say you have the equal right to do everything, listen, to defend yourself against prosecution that they can do to prosecute you. You see? But here's what it is. I'll show you where it ain't even. It ain't even because they can bribe their witnesses. You can't. If you offer anybody something in return for testimony for you, they will say you're bribing a what? Witness.
Bribing a witness, yeah.
But if, watch now, they offer somebody, and they do it all the time, they offer your co-defendants, listen, lesser sentences to testify what? Against you. Now, sister, watch this. Filed in the 11th Circuit Court. District, the 11th Circuit District Court. See? The 11th what? Elder. See how it all figures what? You see? And she won. In other words, but they reversed on the decision because that would open up the floodgate for people like Timothy McVeigh and them because of the Oklahoma City bombing that had just happened not far before she had won her decision. She's up for appeals now. Now, when you say appeals, watch now, you're talking about acts. In your what? Watch. Now, and your what? And when you say appearances, appearances are necessary in nature. How do you know? Because the sun only appears to what? And it appears to what? That lets you know that appearances are what? Necessary. You can, like we can roll into a spot if we don't present ourselves with the proper what? Appearance. Because people are programmed by the things they see and what? Hear. So never will they see me like this. Ever. You know why? Because people are programmed by what they see and hear. And the truth of the matter is that if you are talking about appearances in nature, right, the sun only appears to what? Rise. Because the sun is sitting in one what? Spot.
Charles answered the question.
What?
He says a knife.
Huh?
A knife, but that was a playmate, wasn't it?
What?
The playmate of Eve. Who is the mother of Eve?
And that is the mother. Who's the father?
Okay. You were right, Charles. Who is the father?
You know why they called her a gnat?
Why is that?
You don't know why? Because she was very what? Small. She was a pygmy. And a gnat, listen, is a gnat that you...
Oh, okay. So okay, I got you.
Because she was very what? Small. Watch now. And annoying. She was a gnat. Ain't gnats annoying?
Yeah, heck yeah, they're annoying. And
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right on.
And her father's name was ready? Pat.
Pat. Okay. Pat. Is that the same like the ta, the Pat? I'm surprised.
But they
I missed
didn't
that
spell his name.
I missed it.
Listen, they didn't spell his name. Listen. P-A-T-H. They spelled it P-T-A-H.
Yeah. Same as
Nah. See, everybody's okay. If you take PT, that's short for part. That's the abbreviation for part.
Yeah.
Part what? Ha.
Part ha.
Part ha 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 ha.
You got me on that one.
I know I do, because again, it's not about having what? Fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because fun is the first three letters in what?
The funeral.
Funeral. But it is about being ready, happy. And happy starts out with ha.
Ha.
And when you say ha 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 ha, you're talking about LOL.
Yeah.
Laugh out what?
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud. Because laughter is good for the what?
Soul.
For what? Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Check out this what?
Bizarre.
It's not talking about laughter now. It's talking about seeing something. Triple X what?
Rated. By the triple chromosome.
Because again, we're bringing in the completion of the
Chromosome
what? Project. Where every being on this planet will be given an extra sense of what? Compassion. Because you all have become one nation under a what? Groove.
Yeah.
Which is talking about cogno-neo what? Science. Study of the human what?
Brain.
A groove comes through an experience which makes it where no one can unlearn the things they come to what?
Learn.
No.
Yeah.
You cannot go backwards in for what?
Nation.
If you see something, guess what? That has created a groove in the what?
Mind.
Even if it's not a deep what?
Groove. Yeah.
It is still what? There. And the monoatomics will cause you to draw from every groove what? That's why I want you to look at limitless.
Yeah.
Because every information does it get lost?
No.
It's just misplaced in the human what?
Yeah, in your brain, yeah.
Now, what the monoatomics will do, listen, is cause you to draw from information that you have misplaced in the brain. Because it will clear your means and path to be able to ready think. Because the mind is in a constant state of rambling, where it's dialoguing all the time. What you have to do is get the mind to shut what?
Shut up.
And sit what?
Sit back.
That's what you call meta what? Meditation. See, because prayer is talking. Meditation is what? Listening.
Listening. You want some?
That's where you start to
Ginger ale?
get the mind to shut what? To shut up. So that you can then start to hear what the heavens is what? Saying back to what? You.
Back to you.
Which doesn't always have to come through a spoken what? Ready? Word. It can come through a picture flashing in the mind. Because pictures say 1,000 what?
Words. 1,000 words. Sure do.
Which they call pics here today. Like pixels.
Like the pixel movie. You got
No, like, okay, watch. Like what you call fractal geometry.
Yeah.
Fractal geometry is where we take a picture of an apple, click, and we zoom in on that picture and we see that it is made up of thousands of yet smaller frames of the exact same what? Apple. Where when we zoom in on one of the frames, we see it too is made up of thousands of yet smaller frames of the exact same what? Apple. Where if one of those frames was a pear, the original picture of the apple would not be an apple. That's fractal geometry.
But how?
Now, the devil has fractally broken himself up and centralized in every corner of the what?
The globe.
So what that means is, if we trap him here, we are only trapping fractals of what?
Of him.
Of him. You understand what I'm saying?
understand.
He has fractally broken himself up and what? Centralized. See? Which causes, listen, Baba to have to fractally break himself up in order to what? Gather all the fractals.
Yeah.
And that will happen through the hyperbola what? Equation. The hyperbola equation will put Baba in front of the devil and in back of the devil at the same what?
Same time.
So the devil's running and he's looking behind him, he sees Baba there, and then he turns around and sees Baba what? There. And then it's like, and that's when the 6-pointed star, this I, Rashua El, the hyperbola, because the hyperbola, half a hyperbola looks like a pitchfork. And what it does is it takes the devil, stabs him here, wraps around here, you see? Bam. He's locked in.
Yeah.
Right? Now, then the 6-pointed star, inverted, comes in and turns. Boom, you got an inverted pyramid. No, first the upright pyramid houses him, and then you got the inverted pyramid that comes across the top of his head and then turns. Pat, pat, and it locks him. And then he's trapped in the, listen, 6-pointed what? Star with the half a hyperbola jamming him this way. Now, but a hyperbola, what now, has that on both what?
Both ends.
So then you take it and you bring it what? Around, and it stabs him through the other side what? Also.
So
that's when you gather all his fractals all over the what?
All over the globe. Wow.
See, because the hyperbola is the earth with its equator, what? Split in half, and then turned inside, almost inside what?
Inside out.
But not totally 360, 180 degrees. You see? Because that represents what? Harakuf. What now? Which is a 180-degree turn in the Urim and Thummim. The symbol looks like this. When you see Harakuf, it represents a 180-degree turn. It looks like this. Give me a piece of paper.
I'll show you. Somebody send me the paper.
Hurricane has to do with, hurricane is movement. It's not Harakuf. It's it's right before hey you. It's a symbol. Man, what's that symbol? Oh, it looks like the swastika.
Okay.
That's when we are tearing the square what?
Apart.
You see? Because we're disassembling the square with Naju. Naju represents 180-degree what? Turn. You see? It's the empty-handed leap into the what? Into the void.
Yeah.
Naju looks like the swastika, but the swastika, its thing to the right first. Naju is to the left first.
Yeah.
You see? And what you're looking at is the square being picked what?
Picked up.
Picked apart.
Picked apart, yeah. But
torn what?
Torn
apart.
Yeah, I got you.
See?
I got you on that.
And see, the swastika was first, the first symbol of homo what? Sexuality.
Was it?
Yeah, it represented what?
I thought
homosexuality.
I didn't know that.
That was the first symbol of homosexuality. See?
Man, that is amazing.
Because it's like the 69, right? My wife was born October 5th, 1960 what?
9.
Okay, now do the numbers on that.
October 5th, 1969. That's 10, 5, that's 6. And then 1, 6, 7. And
9, that's
7.
16, that's 7.
So it's 13. It's 4.
7.
Yeah.
Right, wait, come on, now do it from the beginning.
Okay.
1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. 7 and 9 is 16, so that's 7.
Yeah.
Right? Then you have plus 6, that's 13, that's 4. Right?
4.
Plus 9
Plus a 9.
is 13.
Yeah, 13 again, so it's 4.
So you see how me and her are twins? Because if you look at the symbol of Pisces, you're looking at almost the exact symbol of Gemini. Pisces is like this. Watch. Right?
Yeah.
Gemini is like this.
3 equals
2 lines and 2 lines. 2 lines going vertically and 2 lines going horizontal. You see, where we take the Sirot to Mustaqim what? Out. There is no more duality. See, Gemini represents what? Duality.
Right.
Right? Now you take the 2 straight lines what? Out. And you add the curvature of the circle to produce the hyperbola what? Symbol, which is the symbol of Pisces, which they say is 2 fish going in opposite directions at the same time. Right, because that's Baba going in front of the devil and behind the devil at the same what? And his astrological sign is Cancer, which is a water sign. Watch now, he's born June what?
June
26.
1945.
Do the numbers on that.
June, that's 6, 8. 8 and 6 is 14, that's 5. And then 19, that's 1 and 9. So, yeah, 5, 1, and 9, that's 6, is 6.
What? 1 and 9?
Yeah.
Where? Do it again.
1945.
Watch. June is the 6th month. 6 and 2 is 8. And 8 and 6 is
14.
Which is 5. Okay, now 5 and 1 is 6, and 9
would be a 6 again.
Would be 6 again.
Yeah.
6 and 4 is 10. That's 1. And 5 is 6. Right now, but add 6 to 13.
Yeah, 19.
You understand? See, because I'm the 13th elder. You add 6 to that, because my number ends up in the number what? 13. Because I and my father am 1. You add 6 more to it, you get the number what? 19, which brings you back to 1 all. The number what? 1, which has to do with Wahdahullah, Silikalahu, who is alone and has no what?
No partner.
The all what? Is. You follow what I'm saying? You can't take away from the all. There's only one what? All.
That's it.
So that's the aloneness, right what?
Right
there.
Yeah.
You see? But it is alone and both not what?
Alone.
At what?
At the same time.
It is everything and yet what? Nothing.
Which is not a state of confusion, right?
No, see, because no, it's not at all. It's wisdom.
Yeah. Okay. So
see, because look, now you taking?
Yeah.
Now what? The all in its infinite wisdom knew that if it was lacking one thing, it was not the all. So, in one glorious moment, it decided to get up and go in search of the one thing that it knew it was lacking. What direction did it choose to get what?
Up.
Now watch. To go in search of the one thing that it knew it was what?
Lacking.
Which was knowledge of itself as being the greatest of all what? Things. It could not know itself as the greatest of all things because it did not have the means. Why? Because it was all there was.
Yeah.
Okay, you follow me?
Right.
So it could not know itself as the greatest of all things, but it knew that if it was lacking one thing, it was not the all.
Yeah.
You see the meeting place right there?
Right.
See, because that's where, watch, it had to get up and go in search of the one thing it knew was lacking. So in one glorious moment, after getting up to go in search of what it was lacking, it made the glorious decision to turn within. Listen, so it would no longer be without the one thing it knew was lacking. Because if it was lacking one thing, it could not legitimately be the what? All.
Right.
So when it turned within, it created for the very first time the conditions of that which is here, standing opposite of that which is what? There. And unbeknown to itself, because the knowledge was necessary, but it was not a sufficient, ready, condition. The sufficient condition rose from out of the center of the two conditions that it, listen, created by leaving a portion of itself from which it came to create that which is here, standing opposite of that which is what? There. Now, but unbeknown to the all, it gave birth to yet a third condition, which sat in the center of the two conditions, which produced the sufficient what? Condition, which is that which sits in between here and there, which is that which is neither here nor what? There. That's where the you see, that's where the two become what? One. You see, that's where, listen, the question and the answer become the what? Same. Now watch.
Okay.
It then knew.
Wow.
Watch now. After the sufficient condition, it gave birth to. Watch now. After that sufficient condition was born, which is that which is neither here nor there, standing in the center of that which is here versus standing opposite of that which is what? There. Yeah. It knew that that was a wise what? Decision. Yeah. Because it was no longer lacking the information to know itself as the greatest of all things. Because now it had the means of measurement to measure. Yes. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It couldn't measure its what? Itself, yeah. Itself. Now, the sufficient condition rose, the knowledge was necessary to know just how far to take it. What was necessary? To know what we are talking about. Right knowledge is necessary. You got to know it. Yeah. Else you can't teach it. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, so that's necessary. But that comes through a understanding, which is not a sufficient what? Condition. Yeah. Because it's the overstanding that will bring the sufficient what? Condition, where if they say, what did he say? You will be able to repeat the master's words what? Verbatimly. You see, without pencil or paper in what? In hand. You will open your mouth and the master will what? Fill you. It will just come what? Come out. Through you. Coming through you, but not coming through you, but not from what? You. Because it doesn't belong to what? To you. Yeah. It belongs to us, keyword, all. Gotcha. Now what? Then, in its infinite wisdom, it knew that it was still lacking one thing. Because it knew that if it was all things, it was nothing also. Because nothing is still a what? Thing. Yeah. You see? So the one thing it knew it was lacking was contradiction. And contradiction is still part of the what? No. All. Yeah. Meaning it stands against what? Diction. That's where words no longer what? Suffice. Yeah. I keep telling you that the love I carry, the spoken word, cannot carry it because it will break the spoken words what? Back. It comes a place where words no longer what? Suffice. Yeah. You see? Yeah. Because that's just how OSOICE love what? It is. You see? Where there will be no need to speak the words that say, I what? I am. No, love you. Yeah, I love you. Yeah. Because you will be able to look in the eyes of divine love when it has practically broken itself up and what? Centralized in every eye on the what? Planet. Yeah. Where then the eyes will no longer be eyes, they will be us. We and ours. Right. There will be no more I, me, listen, and mine. There will be our, watch, us, and we. And our, watch, is like the man of the what?
Our. Yeah.
Where they say the H was what? Silent. See why the H was silent?
Yes.
Because it comes a place, listen, where words no longer what?
Yeah.
Suffice.
Yeah.
You see,
Exactly.
that's when you get into the mind what?
Meld.
You see? Where we are becoming a monumental thing. Why was there so many monuments in ancient Tamaray? Because the monuments represented the monumental. The one mind that we would all have to what? Become.
Yeah.
Why? And when you say become, you're talking about the metamorphosis of us what?
All.
What now? The caterpillar becomes the what?
Butterfly.
The piece of coal becomes the what?
Diamond.
So you're talking about a caterpillar who does not know that one day it will what?
Be a butterfly.
Fly.
Yeah.
See?
Okay, yeah.
And you're talking about a black rock that's put into the bowels of the earth and thousands of pounds of pressure is what? Applied. That's the Nubian man being put in the penitentiary here what? Today. That thousands of pounds applied causes the man to metamorphosize, where he then becomes the hardest known substance to man. But when given to a jeweler who will cut away the jagged what?
Yeah.
And put that diamond in the proper ready setting. And when you get back to setting, watch now, you're talking about watch, Osiris and what? Set.
Yeah.
Like the sun rises and what? Sets. But it does absolutely neither.
Yeah. It's just appearance.
Now watch. Because you will have, watch, Isis, and you will have Nemesis, which are twins. Isis, watch now, is the one woman, and Nemesis is her what? Twin. That they say is her evil what?
Twin.
But is she? Watch. Because when you say Nemesis, take the name and spell it.
N-E-M-E-S-I-S.
N-E-M-I-S-I-S. Nemesis. Now watch. Take Nem and turn it what?
Backwards.
Around. That's men's what? Isis.
Yeah.
Which is not the evil what?
Isis.
Twin.
Yeah. That's the
Because evil turned around is live.
Yeah.
And they will say, that's why I keep telling y'all that these people who you see in your X-rated movies, watch, are living life to the what? Fullest. Because they're filling every what? Hole.
Yeah.
Understand where I'm coming from with this now. Because again, the Nemesis, which is the evil twin of Isis, and Isis is Uset, up what? Set. Up what?
Upset.
Set.
Yeah.
When we know that the sun doesn't rise what? The sun doesn't set what? Up.
Yeah.
It appears to set coming what?
Down.
So you have an up what? Set.
This is the confusion in itself.
That's confusion right there. You see?
Upset.
An upset.
Yeah.
Now, how do you have an up what? Set. Because something rises in you that causes you to become ready up what?
Set.
When you hear things, now these are things that take place when you feel you're put in a position by which there is no answers being afforded. Because if no new information is coming, that's the minute you start to ready, die. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's only by virtue of the fact that new information, and where the new information is coming from, that's the seat that Anu has put his signature on.
Yeah.
Now watch. Every time I finish something, I say signed. ATUN what?
Right.
Now, spell the word signature.
SIGNNATURE.
ATUN-RE.
Yeah.
what? So when you say signature, you're saying signed, ATUN, what? Re.
Yeah. Wow.
See? Because that's the signature. You're looking for the signature of Anu. And the signature of Anu is where the new information is what? Coming what? From.
Yeah.
And when you say signed, what? ATUN-RE, you're saying signed nature. Because the nature gives you all the signs you need to be able to read the handwriting on the what?
The wall. Wow.
You see?
Yes.
Because every day, what? The heavens is communicating to you, and only very few are privy to understand its what? Translation. See, it happens like this. You go in McDonald's, and you're standing in line, all of a sudden you look over, and you see a newspaper. Watch this. And on it, 2 words stand out and catch your eye. They go, bling. You see? And you say, damn, them 2 words puzzle you. They cause you to feel something, but you don't know exactly what it is you feeling. You walk out of McDonald's, you go to the block, and then you get to a red light, and the bus goes what? By. Because there's a difference between Anabus and Anubis. Like there's a difference between Osiris and Osiris. See? And y'all got to know which one is on your what? Side. Osiris is he who signed Isis. That was the Greeks. They made her a fertility what? Goddess.
Yeah,
and there is no such thing as a fertility what? Goddess. What? Now, and while they were doing that, they were making a mockery of us, calling us ex what? Men. See, because our formula went A plus B equals what? C. And with the C, you are what? Free. Their formula went Z plus, listen, Y equals what? X. And under that X, they wanted everything divine to remain what? No. Forgetting, however, that X marks the what?
Spot. X marks the spot.
You see, because when you're looking at the meeting place of the heavens and the earth, it will look like a
X.
Which is the hieroglyphic of an upright pyramid meeting an inverted what?
Pyramid.
And the center of that is the meeting what?
Place.
That's where the question and the answer become what?
One. Wow.
You see, because the X was an evil thing, because they got to it by a formula that was going from the back to the front. They wasn't going from the front to the back like we was. A plus B equals what? C. They was going Z plus Y equals what?
X.
And under that X, they wanted everything to remain unknown. But what they forgot is if a devil can touch something that's good and cause it to be what? Evil. An angelic being can touch something evil and cause it to be what? Good. So I touch the X. And I say, no longer will it be a symbol of the what? No. Because the domino effect kicks in. Like in do men what? No. No. But now they what? Do. Men no. See, because the sun is at its highest what?
Point. Right now.
At its zenith. That's who I what? Am. Now what? So I touch the X, and now it is no longer a symbol of what? Evil or the what?
Unknown.
Because now it's known that that represents the meeting place of the heavens and the what? And what? It also represents the X what? Chromosome. Which they say is the feminine part of man. No, it's the compassionate part.
Hey, do the Anunnaki have 3 chromosomes, 3 X's? Or
well, if Mother Ninti gave a portion of her what? Self.
Their self, yeah, pretty much.
What do you think gave them the extra sense of what?
Compassion.
See, because that took the Lulu Amanu from being primitive workers to where, as though Inky and them said, get that box. The Lulu Amanu said, no, you get it your way.
Damn self.
You see, they were no longer primitive what?
Workers.
They was in our image and after our what? Likeness.
Yeah.
Now the man had become like one of what?
One of us.
Us.
Yeah.
You see? Because now, why were they given an extra sense of compassion? And why did they develop a neocortex? Because when you say neo, you're saying new, which is the biggest portion of the human what?
Brain.
The new portion of the human what? Brain is where you get divine love what? From.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know how it is to love or what love really what? Is or was or will always what? Be if you didn't have a neo what?
Cortex.
That's what caused the jump in the man's evolutionary process from being a Homo what? Erectus to a Homo what? Sapien.
Yeah.
See? Because the R complex was the reptilian portion of the brain that where from it you get anger, hostility, aggression. That's your devil right what? There.
Yeah.
And so because the Nephilim had breeded themselves into the beings that were here, giving them a R what?
Complex.
How do you know? Because they do this thing on a timeline at the Museum of Natural History where they have all the craniums of early man, right? And they say from here it was peaceful. But from here, all the craniums started being smashed in. That's when the Nephilim came down, saw the daughters of men that they were fair, voluptuous, having nice butts and nice titties, and took them wives, all of which they chose, raped the women, and incorporated themselves into them genetically. That's what caused the Lulu Amanu when seeing each other. Now instead of been going by peaceful, then it was boom, where they started seeing each other and taking what? Flight.
Yeah.
Where immediately they started bashing each other's heads what? In. So the scientists of today don't know what caused that. They say, damn, everything was peaceful right up until what? Here.
Yeah.
All the craniums have holes in them now.
Yeah.
And they can't explain what caused that aggressive nature to rise. It was the R what? Complex. That's when everybody got a little bit of devil put in what?
In
them.
Yeah.
You see? Now watch. And the way you know is because of these webs.
Yeah.
Now watch. And the webs represented that at one time, listen, you didn't breathe what? Ready? Oxygen. Because you lived under what? Water. So my memory doesn't go back only to Tamaray. It goes back to what? The underwater world of Marin, whose capital became known as Atlantis, to Atlan. That then from out of Atlan we walked, watch, some of us calling ourselves Nomos. And if you look at the Nomos, they're called the fish what?
People.
Where here today their characteristics, they have these bubbly eyes.
Right.
They don't look, they Nubians too, nigga.
Yeah.
Look like straight what? Fish.
Yeah.
Descendants of what? Nomos. And they declared they knew the what?
Knew the most.
Knew the most.
Oh, okay. So they did.
See, why did they declare they knew the most? Because they had memory of being underneath the what?
Water.
And oxygen is what caused you pain. Without oxygen, you would not feel what?
Pain.
And if you don't feel pain, you don't have ready growth. So did they really know the what?
No.
Most?
No, they didn't.
No. See? Because what? We didn't stop right what? There.
Right
because
there.
they were saying that Rome,
And oxygen is our moon on
listen, Rome rise through two twins having sucked on the nipples of a what? Wolf. One named Romulus and the other named Remus. And it says that Romulus killed Remus. Right? Now, and out of Romulus, all Rome was what? Born. Wrong. Because Romulus didn't kill Remus, because Remus knew the what? Most.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
And his name was Ramon Body. That was Bodhi's first what?
Incarnation.
Right. You see?
Wow.
Ramon what? Body, who established all of what? Rome. Watch now. And it was he who, listen, Ray knew his last name was what? Ray, putting that last name first. What? Ramon.
Yeah.
Right? And out of that, Rome rose, because then you had, watch, your Vulcan brothers and sisters who were there with Ramos, who then converted to be Romulan, becoming black what? Devils. Because out of the language of, watch, when you say Rome, you are talking Latin. Right?
Yeah.
Latin, they say, was a derivative of what? Greek.
Right.
No. Latin came what? First.
Yeah.
Because our Latino brothers are still Nubian. Watch now. So Latin and Spanish, like you have Spangaloid, and you have today's what? When they call them the hounds of hell, you're talking about Spangaloids, who became known as your Knights of what? Templar. Alchemical assassins who here today wear long dusters and cowboy what? Hats. But they are not the original what? Cow what? Boy. You see, they call themselves Spanglers, like you have the Star Spangled what? Banner, which is a flag which consists of red, white, and what? Blue. Watch now. And when you talk about red and blue, those are primary what?
Colors.
Colors. Primary colors do not come from a mixture of what? Colors. Because you have indigo blue, which starts once you get past 6 what? Density. When you get to 7 density, you will get indigo blue. Now watch. But you won't get to, and then you have a slight moment of yellow. That then will bring you to green, the color of Melchizedek, which is the color of healing. And we wore, watch now, a suit which consisted of orange and white. Because orange is a neutral color that allows, listen, red, watch, purple, and violet to come what? Through. And violet is the most violent of the what? Colors. Because it is burning faster than every what?
Everything.
Color. And it will literally burn everything what? Up and what? Down. In and what?
Out.
If it is not controlled by the circle of all what? Light. Because when you get to violet, then you get back to, ready, white. The absence of what?
Color.
Because it burns everything out and what? In. Everything up and what? Down. And lights go what? Out. And when the lights go out, the reason why they declared light to be good and dark to be evil is because on a negative, that which is dark is what? Light. See, so when you're reading the emerald what? Tablets, he's talking to you from the other side of the what? Where light is what? You see?
Yeah.
And so the brothers of, listen, of light are the brothers of what? Darkness. But this wasn't to be interpreted or translated by anyone other than me. Because I'm Tuhuti's what? Apprentice. That's how I know what I know. Because here today, if you take a picture, and the brother, say we go to the club, and we sit down and we take a picture, and you'll say, come on, man, what's taking so long? The brother has to pull it out, and he'll start waving it like this here. He said, wait a minute, the picture's developing, man, just give it a minute. Then he will peel away the ready, negative, and throw that what?
Away.
And hand you the picture. And we're thinking we're in the picture. when we are not in the picture.
We're in the negative.
We're in the negative. Because it's the negative that will produce other what?
Picture.
You see? While though the picture itself can't produce anything else, and we're not in the picture because our face is not on the what? Money. So we're not in the green, we're in the what? Red.
Yeah.
We're in the negative. You see?
Yeah.
That's why, listen, they called Avatar, what? Oh hell.
Oh hell.
The secret was in front of it, and you remove the secret, you get the word hell. But it's not hell for us.
Yeah, it's hell for them.
It's hell for them. You see? Because they come into our neighborhoods and they consider certain places in our neighborhoods to be hell.
Yeah.
Because they catch hell the minute they walk up what?
Walk up
In there. Because niggas will immediately say, yo, white boy, what you doing here, man?
Yeah.
You in the wrong what? Neighbor what? Hood. You in the hood what? Now, and them boys will call for their mama before 12 what? O'clock. You see?
Right, yeah.
So again, oh hell is the tabernacle of the most what? High. But it produced the word hell because they say hello. Hell is what? Low. And they forget that there's a central sun burning right up underneath them, which belongs to me. Because I can get that motherfucker to go boom. You see?
Right.
So we're standing on top of a nuclear what?
Bomb.
So when the American government want to come fucking what?
Well,
With me, I'm going to ask them, do you want to what? Live? Because I'm going to show them the powers of what? Pharaoh. Merely by showing them a picture again of the planet going what? And say, do you want this to be your outcome? Huh? You keep coming at what? Us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you what Pharaoh, the light bringer to the house, can what? Can do. Because I control the powers of light and what?
Darkness.
Because the meeting place produces what? Both. Now, do you really want to fuck with what?
Nope.
That's why Pharaoh carries the power that he what? Does. You follow me? Because he knows where the question and the answer becomes what? One. See? And that's the part they don't what? Like.
Yeah.
Because they know there will be a new world what? Order.
A new world order.
Which is forever after the order of what? Melchizedek. You see? So when President Bush, because if he can't be a tree, be a what?
A
Bush. Or be some grass, or be something green. So when he got on television and said there will be a new world order, we said, gotcha.
Gotcha. He knows.
Because he can't take back the words he what?
Yeah.
Spoke. And the very first word he mentioned was Anu's what?
Anu's
name. See, because they thought they was alphabetically slick by giving the projected ending of the circle a name. They said it must consist of 3 what? Words. And we must get everybody on the planet to say those words.
3 words.
We said, well, no. Being that you all wanted to think you was alphabetically slick, we're going to show you what alchemy is all about. We don't have to get everyone to say it. We just got to get your commander and what? Chief. To say it. And we got him to say there will be a new world what? Order. Because there's one all. We didn't need everybody to what?
Yeah.
Say what?
That.
Nothing. We just needed one what?
One
person.
Yeah. The command.
The commander and what? Chief. Of the United States of what? America.
The USA.
See now, so what? So again, they said, I know what will cause the circle to end. They said we must give the circle's projected ending a name, which must consist of 3 words. Why 3 words? Because this is a 3-dimensional what? World. Yeah. And so what they said the projected ending of the circle's name would be is in the beginning. They thought if they got everybody to say in the beginning. See, it's through the unspoken word that they was getting their message across. Which is saying anything that will have a beginning will one day have a end. But keep in mind, were they smart enough to disinclude themselves? In that they didn't say, listen, an ending except for us. Wow. So how smart were they? When they said all things must come to a end. They didn't say all things but us. Which makes it where their own doing now is about to become their own doing. See, because they left very important things out. I kept telling you all we have a small window of opportunity. But y'all kept forgetting that I said the smallest things carry the most power. See, so like they have Windows 95. 8, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 90, Windows XP, Windows Professional, Windows 7, and Windows Black. Now they're going to have Windows Symbols. Which will shut them down and up at the same You see? Leaving them literally in a place where they will go out of their mind and become the lunatics that they were in the very first for fucking with us. You see? That will be the day that I cause the Nile River to go back downstream instead of up upstream. Because that will be a sign to let everybody know that indeed I am who I say I am. Because my grandfather made it go upstream, I'm going to make it go the other
The other way. Downstream.
And that will be the day the lights come on. And turn off at the same time. Watch this. The planet will return to its perpendicular polarity. You will be able to write with both hands at the same
time.
Like you did long time And that will be the day that you all will be able to fly. Once
again.
You see? Wow. Because the body is aerodynamically designed. If you tuck your head and lay straight out, you will see the wind cuts across that motherfucker just
Just right.
OSOICE. OSOICE, you see? And that's where Superman and Superwoman will come to life. Once again, and the gods and the goddesses will Because ATUN-RE gives birth to all the gods and the And listen, I'm just a reminder of what Reformation is about. Because if you take 9 months before my birthday, you will get to my father's birthday. You take 9 months before his birthday, you'll get to my birthday. June 26th will lead you to March 18th, 9 months exactly. And March 18th will lead you to June 26th exactly. When you take out daylight savings time. Right. It is the supreme grand mathematics that can't be ignored. It's a circle. That's what lets everybody know that I and my father am one. See, because when you take 13 and you add 6 to it, you get 19. See? Because watch. Sananda and Sananda Fu is two different Sananda Fu is the 25th That's where me and Pops become one. Says Sananda is a Fool. You see? But thinking he was alphabetically Slick. And trying to hide his square in the center of our Circle of all life. See? But we realize that in order to get you back the way you got to be, we got to push you forward. That's why everybody will have to, anybody who talks about separatism and disunity and disconnection are not, realizing that we have turned to one nation under a
Groove.
Getting down just for
the funk of it.
So we just fucking just to Fuck. Niggas are not fucking to create. what? And I'm saying, well, okay, good. Too late, any fucking what?
Anyway.
Because y'all have done that long enough and strong enough, one way in, one way what?
One way out.
You see? You did that to your what? Selves. We didn't do that to what? You.
Yeah.
Y'all did that to your what? Selves by becoming one nation under a what? Groove. Getting down just for the fuck of what? It.
Yeah.
You wasn't fucking to have what?
Baby.
No what? More. Tell the truth and shame the what?
I'm going to do it from now on.
But no, you not understand. The only way you're going to get back to that is you have to realize some things, listen, wholeheartedly, which is you're going to have to go through some hell your what?
Self.
Listen, meaning you're going to have to do some things you don't what?
Want to do.
What? And when you do it long and strong enough, and we've seen that you all have, listen, been properly what? Tested.
Yeah.
And passed the what? Test. Because if I tell you to do something and you don't do it, then the reality of it is you don't believe in what? Me. If I come to you and say, yo, let your, if it ain't no fun, if your brother don't have what? Let your brother get in that other what? You're going to be like, ooh wee. And that's going to test you right what?
Right there.
Because you're going to be tested by the things you love the what? Most. So I got to get you to listen. I got to get you to be disconnected. Watch.
Yeah.
To the point you are no longer emotionally what? Attached. When I see everybody has become emotionally attached, I will see that everybody's ready to be emotion what? Less. And when you become emotionless, you will start to use logic once what?
Once
Again. Because Vulcans are, listen, not what? Emotional.
Yeah.
You see? Vulcans move without what? Emotion. Because they know it's what? Logical. It's not nuwapo. It's not sound right what? To become what? Emotional. Because if you become emotional, you become irrational. If you become irrational, listen, you lose self what?
Control.
And when you will lose self-control, watch now, you are no longer in the image and after likeness of the Elo what? So we are always in what? Control. Of nothing else of our what? Selves. We have control of the reptile in what? Us. Now, how will you ever get control of the reptile in you unless you break emotional what? Attachment. You can't be, and that's going to be the biggest test of what?
So is.
Oh, because niggas are going to be wanting to fight over their what? Women. And women are going to be wanting to fight over their children. The same way you will have to be emotionally disattached from your woman, she'll have to be emotionally disattached from her what? Children. Because those children don't belong to what? Her. You see, she's just a canal that is used to get here from the etheric realm to a physical what? Existence. And everything that comes through her canal is not an angelic what? It can be a pure what? Devil. You can be an angelic being and your sibling be a pure what? Devil. That's not your family. You understand what I'm saying? Your real family you will know by the love you have for each other, having never known what?
Each other. Exactly.
You see? And so they might not like what I'm what? Saying. But when they search themselves to the core, then they will know that indeed I'm telling the what?
The truth.
The truth. And the only way out is the same way you went what? In. I'm not saying we have to do that ready for what? Ever. I'm saying we have to do it at some place and some what? Time. So that we can get back into the mind that says there's a whole lot more to life than just ready, fuck it. You see what I'm saying? And nobody's going to be able to do that because women are not having orgasms here to what?
Today.
Because of X-rated what? And that's why our women ain't having no ready babies. So we have to create a condition, watch now, by which we break that chain that binds us.
Yeah.
And you all created the change.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get mad at what? Me.
Yeah.
You created the change. Now you have to create the change in what? You. In order to break the chain
Mm-hmm.
that binds what? You.
Yeah.
In order to get out of the hell that you placed yourself into. And the only way to do that is to become emotionally ready, disattached. Because what will happen if there's a fence right here, and listen, it's said to you, in order, these people are going to Ilyun, to heaven. Yeah. Listen, eternal what?
Life.
If you want eternal life, you have to give up your what? Wife. Meaning you have to pick her up and throw her on the side of the fence where she will not what? Make it. And you have to see her with your own eyes die. Will you give up eternal life? Because the question becomes, how valuable is it what?
To me.
So, and then what will happen if a woman is asked to give up her what?
Husband.
Child.
A child, yeah.
See, because she will sell you down the toilet for the what? Children. The police have to say, and all the police have to do is say, yo, I tell you what, I'm taking your children if you don't tell on that nigga. She will tell on you in a heart what? So everybody has to become emotionally what? To the point that eternal life means more than what? Everything. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. To the point that you're willing to sacrifice the thing that means the very most to what? You. How can you all be tested, listen, in terms of your willingness to sacrifice on that level? And it could be where if you just agree, say, okay, go ahead, brother, get some.
Yeah.
That the heavens could say, no, you already done it. Just by your willingness to be the sacrificial. Yeah. See? And you never know, but you have to be tested in that what?
That manner.
You see what I'm saying? And be and yo, some of y'all, the brothers will be fucking your what? And you gotta stand there and what? Now what? Others of you, because you agree, might not have to be made to. But we'll never know until that day what? Comes. And we'll know who's willing to make the sacrifice and who what? Ain't. Amongst us. That right there will tell us who's serious about this and who what ain't. You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly.
So again, we're not saying you have to do that for what?
Ever.
But we're saying at some time and place you will be what?
Tested.
And you created that change. Nobody what? Because you're the ones, listen, who turned and looked at X-rated what?
Movie.
Where now every time you lay down in the sexual what? Act, those images rise inside of you. And sex, listen, is an act which is what? Perfect. Because you need someone else to feel what? Whole. You understand? You have to come in contact with your true and exact what? Opposite. Yeah. Everything you are what? Not. And the one thing you're not is a what? Woman. Exactly. And the one thing she's not is a what? Man. But the one thing you also have to know is that it falls short by what? Because every woman wants to be with more than one what? Woman. And every woman wants to be with more than one what? Man. They won't admit to it though. They will go to their grave with that truth being locked up inside of them. Because, listen, they have learned to turn, the visual stimulated part of them off at will, where you can't do that. Men are visually what? Stimulated.
Yeah, exactly.
Women, are they? Some of them what? Are, and some of them what? Ain't. And the ones who ain't are lying to their what? Because you think they don't become just as excited seeing a penis as you do seeing a pussy? Because if they don't, they should. Right? I'm saying, what makes it where they are not as visually stimulated as we what? Are. And like I saw that movie, the woman tied up her husband, brought another man what? And started to fuck him in front of what? Dude. And she asked, you want to be a part of this? Then you have to do it the way I what? Say. And he submitted. Now then I asked myself, but what would happen if a man did that to a woman? Would she submit?
No.
Most of them be like, fuck you and fuck her. And I don't give a fuck what you do. And we'll sit there and try not to what? Look. And play, but I don't know how long that would what? Would last. Which shows you something got touched inside of her and turned off a long time what? Ago. Through taking on, listen, an abomination, which was the white man's what? Ready? Sperm. Albino what? Nation. She took inside of her. That's what gives her the ability to be, listen, more emotionally and not just that, more visually not stimulated. Because she had to lay there and take that shit. You see?
I remember writing the
So
paper.
all of this shit is not an easy
situation.
But it has to be what?
It has to be done.
It has to be evaluated, analyzed, and assessed in order for us to bring in something ready, new. Class over. Now what was that? Is that still a university?